Very good morning to everyone. And I would say today's topic is very much relatable. As Sejal also said, showing up and so very important to actually succeed in life. And before we begin, so I want to ask you something, and I want you to actually think about it, not just nod politely as we normally do. So, how many of you started this week with a plan? If you remember, a couple of days back, I had actually shared a 3 month strategy. But let me see how many of you are actually working on it. And maybe you told yourself, oh, I'll wake up at 6, I'll eat better, I'll call that friend I've been ignoring for 3 months, and I'll finally sit down quietly for 5 minutes, just five, without looking at my phone. And now, so just think about it. How many of you actually did all of those things? Okay, don't worry. You are in very good company. We are, incredibly good at showing up for others, for our bosses, our children, our parents, our deadlines, our WhatsApp groups. But there's one person we keep canceling on, keep postponing, keep telling, oh, sorry, not today. And that person is us. So today we are going to talk about that. We are going to talk about what it actually means to show up for yourself every single day. And here's something most of us don't realize. Every time you make a promise to yourself, even a tiny one, and break it, you are quietly, slowly teaching yourself that you can't be trusted. Of course, I'm not talking about the big promises. I'm talking about the small ones. Like, I'll go to bed by 11, scroll, 1:30 a.m. Instagram knows what you had for breakfast in 2019, but you haven't slept properly in 6 months. Or consider Meera. She's a working woman from Pune. Every morning she packs healthy lunches for her kids, makes sure her husband's shirt is ironed, and leaves the house looking put together. But she hasn't eaten breakfast herself in 4 years. Not 4 days, 4 years. She's always say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow has been very busy. And then there's Sunita, a homemaker who wakes up at 5 a.m. and doesn't sit down until 10 p.m. Ask her what she did for herself today. And she'll say, Are, I made kheer for everyone. Does that count? Sunita, it doesn't count. The kheer was delicious, but it wasn't for you. So self trust isn't built in big dramatic moments. It's built in the quiet, boring, ordinary moments when you look yourself in the eye, metamorphically speaking, and you do what you said you would do. And now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like a discipline lecture, but let me tell you, this has nothing to do with being stricter with yourself. In fact, it has everything to do with being kinder to yourself. Showing up for yourself is an act of self respect. It's saying, my needs matter, my time matters, my well being matters, not after everyone else's, but alongside everyone else's. And here's where the men in the room also get a moment because we often leave you out of these conversations, which is obviously unfair. So let me tell you about Rahul. He's 38. He works long hours, provides for his family, never complains. But ask him when he last played cricket, which he loved. By the way, and he'll say 2017. Ask him about the stress, and he'll say, oh, no, I'm fine. He'll say it with that exact face, the one that means the opposite of fine. So showing up for yourself for Rahul might just mean putting the game on Sunday morning back in the calendar, not as a luxury, but as maintenance. So, whether you are 17 and drowning in board exam pressure or 45 and wondering whether your sense of self went discipline, yeah, simply means I choose myself today in whatever small way I can. And this is the part that trips everyone up. We think showing up for ourselves means doing everything right, waking up at 5 a.m., meditating for 30 minutes, journaling 3 pages, exercising, eating clean, being grateful, not snapping at everyone, or learning a language on the side. Now, let me tell you, that is not a morning routine. And I would say that is a punishment, right? Presence over perfection. That's all. Some days, showing up for yourself looks like a 10-minute walk. Some days, it's saying no to something that drains you. And some days, it's making one cup of chai and sitting with it in silence before the world wakes up and needs things from you. A teenager who is kind to herself on a bad exam day is showing up. A homemaker who takes a 20-minute nap without guilt is showing up. A working woman who sets her phone aside for dinner is showing up. A man who finally admits he's tired is showing up. And it doesn't have to be big, real. It has to be actually real, however small it is. And here's the most powerful thing I want to leave with you. The small things you do consistently are not just habits, they are identity statements. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, even a tiny one, you're telling yourself, I am someone who shows up. And over time, that belief becomes unshakable. We spend so much time curating who we are for the world, our LinkedIn, our Instagram, the version of ourselves we present at work or at in laws' dinners. The version of yourself that matters most, that's built in private, in the quiet decisions no one else sees. And when you choose rest without guilt, that's identity. When you speak up for your own need, that's identity. When you keep that one small promise you made to yourself, that is identity. And here's the thing about identity: once you know who you are, it becomes very difficult for the world to convince you that you are less. Yeah. So, once again, I would suggest let's do that exercise we do every day. Take out your phone, your notes, your notepad, sheet, whatever is handy, and let's give them 60 seconds. So, what I want you to do is set one non negotiable promise for today, not for the week, not for the year, just today. As we always say, baby steps matter. That one step matters. And it has to be small enough to actually do, specific, just for you. The example can be like, I'll eat lunch sitting down, not at my desk. I'll not check my phone for the first 10 minutes after I wake up tomorrow. Or I will take one walk today, even if it's just to the corner and back. Or I'll say no to one thing that I don't actually want to do. See, just small things. Just write it down. That is what one non negotiable promise you want to make for yourself today. And put it somewhere you'll see it and keep it no matter what. I give you 30 seconds to write. Just make that small promise which you have been neglecting, avoiding, postponing, procrastinating about that. Just one small promise. You know, You spend your whole life being someone for everyone else: a child, a parent, a partner, an employee, a friend. All of these are beautiful roles, but underneath all of them is a person, just a person who deserves to be shown up for. Not someday, not when things calm down, not after the next project, next semester, the next festival season. Now, today. No, we always say you cannot pour from an empty cup. But more than that, you cannot know the fullness of who you are if you never stop to fill it. So here is your call to action, and a simple one: keep the promise you just wrote. Just today's promise. That's it. One day, one promise, one small act of choosing yourself. Because here's what I know to be true: the person who shows up for themselves every day, not perfectly, but consistently, becomes someone the world cannot shake. So, start today. Start small and start with your own self. Yes. And with that thought, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you.